Hello gang, it's Monday the 11th of January 2016. The recovery continues. I keep saying that, don't I? I'm wearing bright orange today. Do you like this? Bright orange, because we are in a happy mood today, boys and girls. A happy mood, although I have been going through my past comments and posts of my recent rather nasty illness, and I've made notes, boys and girls. I've made notes, boys and girls, of those of you that haven't sent little messages. Names have been taken. Oh yes. Names have been taken for those that didn't send me nice messages. And when you're ill, I'm not going to send you one. I've decided now. No, names have been taken. They don't care. No one cares. No one cares, dear. So that's it. Okay, so I have taken your names. I did laugh on Sunday while I was at church. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but there is a video on the internet of a priest that just before his Christmas service came out on a hoverboard and went up and down the aisle. Have you seen that yet? I would type in priest hoverboard into YouTube and you'll probably find it on there somewhere like that. Anyway, I sent the email to our local priest, Father Danny. It was quite funny. Sunday, he came up to, he's done the beginning bit of the Mass, and he comes then into the middle of the front part of the church, just in front of the altar, and waits for the wine and that to be brought up. And as he's standing there, he looked down at me and he took a step over to me because I sit at the front. I like to see and hear what's going on. And he came over to me and he says, "Oh, you know that priest you sent that thing?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "He got sacked," and walked off. Oh, I'm on my way out. God's sake. He is very, very funny, Father Danny, at St. Joseph's Catholic Church in Bracknell. Do pop in and visit him. He'll only be too pleased of you to knock on the door. He really will. Now, that cough, I have to say, it's not as bad as it sounds. It really isn't. It's all this. Are you having breakfast or dinner or lunch? It's coming up clear now. The other day it was coming up bright yellow, and before that green. Seriously, but it's clear now, so I know it's just a matter of coughing a little bit more. Now, did you see? Oh, I nearly forgot. David Bowie, of course, died today. Another one. Is it me, or in the last 4 weeks, all around this sort of elongated Christmas period, we seem to have lost an awful lot of big names, haven't we? The guy in Motorhead, of course. Earlier in the year, Scylla. So many people seem to be disappearing at the moment. Going up to heaven. Maybe he's short of musicians up there. Huh? Well, I'll be all right then, won't I? Have you heard me sing? No wonder he hasn't called me yet. I seem to get a little bit of a cough or a cold, and then he probably then watches one of my singing videos, and then, oh no, we won't have him yet, and then puts me back down here again. I think that's what's going on there. But David Bowie, great singer, of course. There's a starman waiting. I never know the words, dear. And the other one, Under Pressure. That is David Bowie, isn't it? Under Pressure. I'm sure it is. And other wonderful, wonderful songs that he's sung. And all those costumes, not really costumes, but actual clothes that he used to wear. He was fantastic, wasn't he? So another one gone, and it just seems to go on and on. Every other day, there's another big star that's died. Have you noticed that over this elongated Christmas period? Yeah, I mean, it's bemusing me. It really is. So thank you, David Bowie, for all the wonderful music. I wasn't a massive fan, not like I'm a big fan of Manilow. But nevertheless, total respect. I liked his stuff. It was great. It's great stuff. Thank you very much for the music, David Bowie. Now, talking of music, did anyone see The Voice on Saturday this week? Now, I got to admit to you, when they sacked, I haven't watched it for a while, but they sacked Tom Jones, and I thought, oh, that's a really bad move when they got rid of Tom Jones. And they brought Boy George and Paloma Faith on, and I thought, oh, I don't know about this. Well, I watched it Saturday. It is fantastic. Boy George is absolutely amazing. He is hilarious. Not just him. The show, there's him, Boy George, hilarious, knows what he's talking about, that has been there forever a day, fantastic. There's Paloma Faith, she's just off her rocker. She's hilarious. We love Paloma Faith. I'm sure I've worked with Boy George before on a radio station in London about 15 years ago, it must be now, called Freedom FM. I was on there with him. And also Paloma Faith, now I'm sure I've worked with her once, only once, many years ago before she sort of made it. And she's really good on there. Really good. And you've got will.i.am at the other end, who's always just such a character. And Ricky, he's like the quiet one out of all of them. He's, you know, sort of, I think he really takes a more laid-back approach than all the others. But the whole show, I thought, was really good. And there's a massive, massive standing out difference now between The Voice and The X Factor. The Voice comes across as, number one, friendly. It's just nice. Do you understand what I mean? They're just nice people. They really are. Not only that, it's actually very funny. Though it was okay before, but with Boy George and Paloma Faith in it now, together, of course, with Will, who was in it before, it has just become totally hilarious. It's great Saturday night television. It really is. I love it. And as I say, I was a bit dubious, you know, replacing Tom. You know, no disrespect to Tom, great singer, we all love him. But it's actually better now. With those two have gone in it. It's really, really good. Please watch last Saturday's one on iPlayer and you'll see what I mean. Some of the one-liners Boy George comes out with. Hilarious. He said to this woman, I'm going to make you so famous, drag queens will want to impersonate you. I mean, I was howling. Not only that, all the singers are reasonable. And they're never nasty. They're never nasty. Now, we had Bernie Clifton on. You may remember him. He's the guy, years ago, 80s, 70s, 80s, who used to be riding, or appeared to be riding, an ostrich. Do you remember? And he would do it. Anyway, he wants to do singing as well. He says singers always take the back seat. So anyway, he sung on there. Now, in my humble opinion, it was okay. It was nothing special, okay? He's not a big pop singer and everything. And it was all right, a little bit dodgy in parts. But they didn't tell him that. They just gave him encouragement. No one turned around for him. But it doesn't matter because they were nice about it. They were nice. Now, take that on the X Factor. It would have been a completely different thing altogether. They would have been horrible, vile, Some may say honest, okay? But I really think you take honesty a little bit too far sometimes. I really do. And that's the difference between The Voice and The X Factor. The X Factor can be quite serious. It can be downright nasty in parts, and it's not really funny, you know. They had the occasional little joke there, and they're always fighting among each other, aren't they? The so-called judges. And that's the other thing. Who the hell do they think they are? The way they come on the stage, you know, like they're making themselves out to be gods. Well, they're not. Whereas The Voice, it's all very matter of fact and funny. And nice. There's a massive, massive difference between The Voice and The X Factor. And I think people have seen through it now. And that's why The X Factor have done so badly last year. The Voice, of course, I think it's their last year on the BBC. They're swapping channels to ITV offered them more money for the format. So it's going on ITV. Will it work on there? it is only a format, but it has to be said so many times. Stuff, people, programmes have swapped from BBC to ITV, and for some reason it just never seems to work. Even some of the really big names, Morecambe and Wise, Dick Emery, Parkinson, they all swapped from there to... And who was a miserable Welsh bloke? Ian Charles, is it? You know, and the other one who did Breakfast, Good Morning Britain, or whatever it was called on ITV. They swapped from the BBC to there. Failed terribly, terribly. Really bad. And it just doesn't seem to work when a programme or a lot of the people switch sides like that, even when it's like a big name. So whether it will work on ITV, I don't know. I think it's a great shame that the BBC had to let it go, but they refused to get involved in a bidding war, and I do completely understand that. Maybe the BBC will make their own talent shows, something like Opportunity Knocks. You may remember Opportunity Knocks with Bob Monkhouse. And that was really good on the BBC. Of course, started by Hughie Green for Thames Television years ago. Then there was a massive, 25 year gap. And then the BBC, I think, bought the format from Hughie Green and give it to Bob Monkhouse. That was really good. Really, really good Opportunity Knock. So that's it. Very good in Sydenham for the karaoke last night. I'm very, very pleased. The last few Sundays there, except the one before yesterday because I was off sick, have been really good there. We're getting 30 people there now singing. About 30, 40 customers. And last night we had 20 singers in there last night, which was the most ever. So very, very pleased with that. So if you're ever in South East London, Sunday nights is karaoke night on a Sunday. Every Sunday night, I keep saying Sunday night, every Sunday night between 8 p.m. and 12 midnight, and that's at the Golden Lion in Sydenham. Just have a look it up on the thing. One of the girls last night who was there done one of my favourite songs of all time, One Day I'll Fly Away. Do you like that one? And when... I don't really know the words. One day I'll fly away, leave my heart to yesterday. I don't know. I never know the words. I need them on the screen. That's why I've never been able to be a singer or anything like that. I can't learn words. No. An actor. I mean, how do they do that? How do they learn words? I always remember being in Scout gang shows years ago, and I was never able to learn. I actually dropped out one year, because we were in this little sketch, and I'm going back here, 20, 34, I'm going back here about 30 odd years, and I actually dropped out. I made some excuse that I had a bad foot or something, because it got to know, and I just couldn't learn the lines. It didn't matter how many times, they just would not stick in my head. And it was the same at school. The teacher would be, rabbiting away in their usual boring voices, and it just never went in my head. Reading a book. I have great difficulty reading books. I can read, I just don't have the patience to sit there and look through all those words. And I have never, ever classed myself as a very intelligent person, because I don't seem to be able to learn like that. If I watch something, someone doing something, then I can generally pick it up like that. When I used to work for British Telecom, again, that's quite a number of years ago, what would happen is that they would send you out as the new person with another bloke, another man, who already was doing the job, and you would watch him and do what he did, and then they'd give you a van and you go and do it. There was no reading books or anything like that, and I found that much easier like that. Anyway, that's it. All right, that's it for our little Monday session. Thank you very much, boys and girls. Being a Monday night tonight, I'm hosting karaoke with very cheap drinks every Monday night. That's at Central Station this evening, Wharfdale Road in King's Cross, between 8 o'clock and 11:30. So if you're around North London, maybe I'll see you tonight. Have a lovely Monday, and rest in peace, David Bowie. Bye-bye.